nobody shares this. Every month for the last 4 months, we've added an extra $100,000 a month in recurring revenue. I don't mean we've added 100 grand. I mean, we're already killing it and we added an extra $100,000 a month. And then the next month we added an extra 100. You get the idea. It's ridiculous. So today what I want to do is I want to show you exactly what we did, how we do it. I'm going to show you under the hood, the campaigns, the funnels, the everything, so you can steal it and run the same game plan. The good news is our clients are running this exact same playbook. So what I'm going to do today is show you the one-page growth plan that we run with them, and then show you what it looks like in practice. Exactly what campaigns we run, what the emails look like, the socials, the funnels, the ads, the everything. I'll show you what worked, what didn't, the numbers, and then some reflections and directions along the way so you can steal what's working right now and you don't have to guess anymore. The cool part is we're running the exact same growth playbook that we run with our clients. It all comes off this one-page growth plan that I'll walk you through in a moment. In fact, let me show you the agenda, the roadmap for today. Let's jump over and I'll show you how it works. So this is our game plan for today. First thing we're gonna do is just walk you through the one-page growth plan. Simple one-page overview that shows the strategy, what we do daily, weekly, monthly to grow the coaching business, both ours and for our clients. Secondly, I wanna walk you through a couple of the campaigns. First up, the workshop campaign we did. Made a bunch of ticket sales, nice. Sold a bunch of coaching, really nice. Next up, we opened and closed the program. So once a month, we open up the program, a few spots for a limited time, urgency, scarcity, and a case study cohort, and we shut it. So I'll walk you through how that campaign worked. Emails, socials, numbers, all of that. Both of these things get people to join Black Belt or Boardroom, and we sell it with a doc. So I want to walk you through the offer doc, the actual one that we use that sold an extra 100K a month in recurring revenues, like 1.2 mil over the course of the year, which is kind of fun. Show you the doc so that you can model what's working right now and use it for yourself. And then finally, let's debrief and we'll look at the numbers, what worked, what didn't. Along the way, I'll give you some reflections and directions and things that we'll do differently going forward so that you can kind of be up to date on the cutting edge. So that's the game plan. Let's get started. So these numbers are big, but I didn't do it alone. I did it with the help of my best friend, Monthly Recurring Revenue. Let me explain why it matters and how to set it up. Most coaches are either really focused on upfront cash collected or selling short-term programs. I get the attractiveness, but I think you're missing out. If you sell something with a big upfront cash payment, you collected the money and now the money's gone, and next month, guess what you got to do? You got to sell again to make it up. Or if you sell a short-term program, like a 6-week, an 8-week, a 3-month deal, you work really hard all month to get people into your world. They go through the process, and at the end, they fall out the bottom, and you've got to start back at zero next month to replace them. I hate that game. What I like to do instead is stack MRR. So the way it works is we get some clients in and they're paying this much per month. Next month, we add some extras. And now on top of what we had, we've got more. And this is how the business is growing. Every month, an extra 100K a month in MRR. It gets pretty fun, pretty quick. Okay, so we've done this each month for the last 4 months. But we've just wrapped up August. It's September now while I'm shooting this. So let's just zoom into what happened in August. We ran an amazing event in Mexico, in Cabo. It was super, super fun. Hundreds of clients from around the world flew in. It was great. After the event, my wife, Kira Marie, who's amazing, said, hey, do you want to go straight back home or do you want to go on an adventure? I'm like, I'll take the adventure, please. And so I didn't know where we're going. Get to the airport and at check-in, I find out we're going to Costa Rica. I've never been, it was awesome. So we go to Costa Rica in the jungle, the mountains, the ocean, lots of swimming, monkeys. It was great. From there, we went to Panama. Wasn't even on my top 1,000 countries ever. I don't even know if there's 1,000 countries in the world. Wasn't in my top 100 list. We go to Panama, that was beautiful too. And then we get to check in at the airport for the last time. And I find out, hey, we're going to Jamaica. Jamaica was great. Had heaps and heaps of fun. So first big life lesson, life's amazing when you do it with someone who's got your back and is filled with adventure. So Kira Marie, shout out to you. So I tell you all that to let you know that this doesn't have to be like a 100 hours a week operation. While I was away, I was coaching some clients at the event and then on holidays for a few weeks. And my job was live my best life, coach clients a couple times a week on Zoom and take the lessons and turn them into campaigns. That's what we're gonna walk through right now. Now that you've got some context, let's start with the plan, the one-page growth plan that we use to drive our growth and the growth of our clients. So this is the exact same playbook that we use and that we run with our clients so we can help them grow month after month after month as well. Looks like there's a lot going on. Let me break it down really quick. There's a whole deep dive video on it. You can check that out if you want. And if you want to get a copy of the sheet that you can follow through on your own and map out your growth plan, in the description below, we'll drop a link for you. So here's how it works. Along the top, we've got attract, generate leads, marketing. We've got convert, signed clients, from curious to committed. And then over here, we've got deliver, which is how we're going to deliver our program. I'm not going to touch too much on the deliver side. You're either selling a short program, we call it a hero, or something monthly recurring. In our world, we're selling recurring. We need to sexy up the offer. So we'll walk you through the offer we made and the doc. We don't sell with appointments, but if you do, that's the other path. Really today, I want to focus mostly on the attract, get leads side of things, lead gen, lead nurture, and then conversion. And we'll leave the delivery for a different video. What I've learned is that your cash flow follows your calendar. If you want the money to go up, we need to install some things on a cadence in your calendar so they happen every day, every week, every month, like they're supposed to. Otherwise, we get busy, we forget, and we don't follow through. So the cadence is really simple. Think daily, weekly, monthly. Let's start with daily. Every day, we share some content short form. For me, the main channel is Instagram, but for you, it could be whatever it is. Sometimes they're there to grow an audience. Sometimes they're there to build our email list with a micromagnet. And as you'll see in a moment, often they're there to promote a workshop or a program that's opening or closing. Once a week, we promote a micromagnet, a lead magnet, often a GPT that gets somebody a quick result. I won't go into that today. There's a whole video about that. You can search for it. And once a month, we promote a workshop. They're not free webinars, they're paid workshops, $100 ticket. It means that the people who show up are much more likely to be an ideal client for us. And so when we did free webinars, 5% of the audience was qualified for black belt. And when we do a paid workshop, 55% of the people are qualified. It's significantly better. That's the lead gen cadence. Next up is lead nurture, which is super important for our conversation today. Each week we run a campaign on email. 1 week a month, we're talking about boardroom. The next week we're talking about a workshop. The week after that, it's black belt. And the week after that, it's something else. Those are going to be really important when we talk about the workshop and the black belt open close. But I just want to set it into context. Both the workshop and the open and close point people at our offer doc. It explains exactly how the program works. People just read it, and then they self-check out into black belt like it's Amazon, but with way better margins. So the job of this growth plan is really simple. We want to take the cold, skeptical leads, get them into our world. The lead nurture and conversion piece is about taking the warm, curious prospects and getting them ready to buy. And then this back half is where we take the hot, primed buyers. So this is the monthly cadence. Daily, weekly, monthly. On the lead gen side, a monthly workshop to convert, and an open close once a month for the program as well. So that's the one-page growth plan that we use with our clients. So we've seen the plan. Let me break down what happened in this workshop campaign because it was kind of crazy. We've been running these $100 workshops every month for a year now, and the system's super, super dialed. What most people like to do is they have like one talk, one like webinar, and they just roll it out again and again and again to a new audience. I see the value in that. I totally get it. It's like simple, you don't have to create stuff. I like to keep it fresh. Keeps me on my toes, lets me show what's actually working right now with our clients as well. So instead of like same talk, new audience, as the audience grows, I'm going to do new workshop every single month. Why? Because it shows that we're current and fresh and real, and I get to add value to people even if they don't become a client. So every month I take something that's working for us and for our clients and share it in one of these workshops. Super high value, your best $100 you'll spend all year. Usually I pick something really hands-on and tactical, like build a micromagnet or a social sales funnel or a video sales letter. But this month I did something different. I picked a topic that I was almost certain was going to be our least popular workshop ever. But I kind of had to do it. It was one of those like, it's in my bones and I need to share this regardless of how well it does. So I thought it was going to be our worst performer, but it ended up being the second highest attended ever. 386 people bought a ticket, which is kind of amazing, which goes to show that if there's something that you feel, like people follow people who've got an opinion. And so you need to get clear on yours and share it. So the workshop was called Prolific and Dangerous. It was how we 3x'd our monthly sales and added 100K a month in extra rev by replacing our like boring content machine with a conviction engine, like saying what you actually believe and leading people in a direction. And it killed. So I'll tell you the results for the workshop in a moment, but what I'd love to do is show you the marketing that filled it. So when we promote a new workshop, the very first thing we do is we create the sales page, the copy first, and then it gets dropped into the design. Rather than read it through with you line by line, let me just show you the key elements you need in a workshop page like this. Okay, so this screenshot was obviously taken after the workshop was closed. Up here is usually the countdown timer, so people know when it's on and that there's some urgency around it. Then the key elements are, number one, the promise. What does this thing do for me? In a bumper sticker. So it's prolific and dangerous, how we 3x our monthly sales, added 100 grand a month in MRR by replacing a beige content machine with a conviction engine. So that's like the promise. And then the case is the second key element. The case just answers the question, why this, why now, and why you? And so the case here is this chunk right down here. What is the problem that we're here to solve. Then we get into logistics. When, where, how much. Super simple. That's this chunk right here. Logistics. Chunk 4, bullets. And bullets are super simple. These are just like the agenda of the thing. What are we going to get out of this? Not there's going to be 437 slides. Obviously, just the benefits of the thing. Curiosity driven. The single most magnetic quality you can show in your market, and it's not value. Example, right? Underneath, we have bonuses that they get for doing it now, including recordings for life and the GPTs and all of them. Don't add too many bonuses. All we want is like bonuses that will help them get a better result or go faster or make it easier. Okay, so that's the page. What I'd love to do is just show you the promo, the emails specifically, and the social posts. Our ad strategy is super interesting. We don't run typical ads. Every ad we run is a social piece that did well, amplified. And so we'll either boost it or we'll run engagement ads on Meta to get more eyeballs on something that's already working. That way there's no guessing. If it's if it's done well organic, it'll kill with ads. And that's all we're trying to do. So let me walk you through the campaign. In our world, every campaign is about a week long, 5 to 7 days, depending. They always start with a hand raiser, an announcement, like I'm doing this thing, would you like to come? And then they go through the 4 Ps. A problem email, a proof email. Here's how it worked for someone just like you. My philosophy email, like you think about it like this, and here's why that's not good. Think about it like this instead, it'll work way better. And then a plan. Here's what we're gonna do, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then, so that's the 4 Ps. So it's like announcement, 4 Ps, and a close, like the deadline's coming. What that looks like over the course of the week is this. So we'll have the announcement, kind of hand raiser. I'm doing this thing, would you like to come? That's meant to be a hand, forgive my shitty scribbles. A problem email. If you don't have this right, it's gonna cost you. Proof email. Here's a client who's just done it. Philosophy. And then the plan. And then if the workshop's say Tuesday, then we'll have countdown reminders. It's 48 hours. It's 24. It's 12. Away we go. Does that give you an idea of how the thing's laid out? So let me show you the actual emails and some of the socials that went with it. So these are the actual emails that we sent for the campaign. It always starts, like I said, with a hand raiser, just like I'm doing this thing, would you like to join us? So first name, I'm getting a few coaches together on Zoom this week to share my playbook on becoming prolific, dangerous, and paid. We're gonna work on getting cut through, getting consistent, and getting sales from your content. Would you like to join us? Click here for the details. Super simple. That's the shot across the bow that something's coming. And then need a problem email. That sounds a lot like Slop and Hogs about how bad AI content is. And if you're using it to write your stuff, you're circling the drain and about to get left behind. Then a proof email. Who better than my buddy, Alex? About how he's crushing because he's prolific and he's dangerous. Next up, a philosophy email. This one was kind of fun. It was called Why Do Good Girls Like Bad Boys? It was risky, it was fun. It was very, very enjoyable. And then a plan email. Then the reminders that it's on in 48, 24, 12, etc. So they're the emails. Along with the emails came some socials that we amplified with ads. 2 carousels, 3 reels, rounded out the campaign. So on social, the campaign was pretty straightforward. We got 2 carousels, 1, 2, and then 3 reels in between to round it out. So let's do carousels first. I like to alchemize my stuff. So if I put the work in a killer email, I'm just gonna turn that into a great carousel. No need to create things twice. If I've done the work, let's use it in multiple places. But make sure it's native for the platform. So AI slop is the new spam. Everyone likes to send it. Nobody wants to receive it. It's like a 3-minute voicemail. You get the idea. With a CTA to comment the word danger to get an invite to the workshop. Super simple. How did they do? 524 comments. Half of those are bot responses, like us, like sending the link. So that's 250-ish. Another carousel about my buddy Chris Doe, who interviewed me, that I tied in. Another 150 comments there. So they're all leads for the workshop. And then reels. Again, stating the case. So 3 reels that we boosted, ran ads to. This is the Hormozy email turned into a reel. You get the idea. Here's what's interesting about what's going on Instagram right now. Our reels are doing really, really well. They always have, consistent. But carousels are crushing. I hand draw mine because it's fun, it's cool. You don't have to. But I think the reason that carousels do so well is because the time to value, like the value per second of attention is so high. Like to get a nugget out of a reel, you got to watch like 60 or 90 seconds. But a carousel, you can like swipe through 10 screens in 30 seconds. I would just lean into that. It's all killer, no filler, exactly the way we want it. Let's talk ads. We used to spend 50 or 60K a month on Meta promoting magnets, workshops, etc. Now we do like 2 to 4K a month. It's ridiculous and the numbers are better. All we do is we take content that's worked organically, like I said a second ago, and we amplify it, either boost or engagement ads, depending on the format. And it's working really, really well. Sometimes the CTAs just follow. By the way, I used to think that was really dumb, follow for more. Turns out actually saying follow for more It gets people to follow for more. So normally we spend a couple of grand promoting this workshop once a month. This time I was like, let's double down and see if we can just like make this thing go all the way. We spent $10,000 last month on the workshop campaign instead of 2. It didn't make much difference. We got more eyeballs on the stuff, but it didn't lead to more sales, although we spent 10K and made 44 grand in ticket sales. So that's a win. Big takeaway, I think, is that the best ads are organic content amplified. Lots of numbers you can track for a campaign like this, cost per lead, etc. It's nice. The most important numbers are like how much does it cost you to get a lead and how much money do you make per lead? CPL and DPL, and you'll be fine. So let's break down the numbers. I'll show you exactly what happened from this campaign. We spent $10,000 on ads. We had 386 people pay $100 a ticket. So that's 38,600. That's nice. But what happened next was the cool bit. So on the workshop, we had 12 people pay and apply to join Black Belt with one of the spots we have available for the month. Of the 12, we accepted 8 new Black Belt members, declined 4, refunded and walked away. Just remember, you're building a community, not trying to sell a product. If community is a big part of what you do, who you let in really matters. If you're running a community, it only takes one bad person to ruin the whole vibe. By the way, this isn't part of the script. I'm just on a rant. Forgive me. Down the end of my street, there's some steps down to the beach and a little pool. It's an outdoor pool that fills up with the ocean, every high tide. And I was down there swimming one day. It was a glorious day and swimming laps, having a great time. And then I noticed right at the end of the pool where I was about to like reach out and touch the edge of the thing to turn around and go back at the end of my lap, some kid has dropped a turd in the pool. I don't care how beautiful the day is, how nice the pool is, how amazing the company is. If somebody's shouting your pool, you don't want to swim in that pool. It's the same with your community. Don't let douchebags in. End conversation. Back to the topic. In our monthly cadence, a month looks like this. If you think about an average month has 4 weeks. Week 1, we're spotlighting Boardroom, our program for people who are doing 7 or 8 figures a year. Kind of epic at what they do and have something to share with the rest of the gang. The second week, we're promoting a workshop. Week 3, the workshop happens, and then we open up Black Belt for a week. And in week 4, we're either promoting our clients program or doing what I call Club Random, which is just useful, fun stuff. For now, let's just call that Club Random. And so we transitioned from the workshop to the Black Belt Open, which is what I want to walk you through now. So the workshop was killer, but what happened next was the best bit. We opened Black Belt for a week, we shut it, bunch of applications, of whom we accepted about 75% and refunded the rest. But I want to walk you through the open close campaign so you can model it. So I've just walked you through what happened in week 2, right? I promise we're going to pick up speed here. I just wanted to go deep so you can see all of the moving pieces. Week 2 was promoting a workshop about prolific and dangerous. Every week in a month, not only do we have an offer, Boardroom, a workshop, Black Belt, etc., but so that we're talking about the same offers in a fresh way, we pick a theme for each week as well. So the theme for the workshop campaign was prolific and dangerous. We can tick that box, right? Next week, we're promoting Black Belt, because that's week 3. Now, here's the thing. We built up so much energy and attention and focus, buzz around this topic of prolific and dangerous, that instead of just going, okay, well, that's done, let's come up with a whole new thing, just harness the momentum you've already built. So if you've got people excited about this topic and it's like a new word that people are thinking about, maybe for the first time, then leverage that and flow it into your open and close. And so instead of coming up with a different topic for Black Belt, we start a new case study group in Black Belt that started a couple of weeks ago, first week in September, and it was all about implementing prolific and dangerous. So instead of introducing a new topic, we keep the momentum going, and instead of just, hey, we're running a workshop about prolific and dangerous, it's we're opening some spots in Black Belt so that we can work on prolific and dangerous together. And the first 6 weeks of your Black Belt onboarding is going to be all around prolific and dangerous, making your content pay. Let me break down the campaign in 2 levels. Above the line, I just want to design, show you the funnel. Like, what are the steps? It's very, very straightforward. Below the line, we'll walk through the actual campaign mechanics. So above the line, the campaign looks like this. Predominantly, it's driven by email. These are people on our list. Yes, there's reels and socials as well, but we're asking people to join a program. It's not a lead gen activity. It's for people who are followers, mostly, like the hot and warm end of the spectrum. So we go from email direct to the offer doc, which we'll show you in a moment. And then from the offer doc, they're not booking a sales call. They're just going straight to self-checkout and application. So they fill out their intake survey and we get to review their application and decide yes or no. We've designed this flow to be super, super simple. Most coaches have emails and social posts and comments and DMs and setters reaching out and then, sales call people and closes and this elaborate multi-step process, every single extra step in your sales process is a leakage point. Yes, we design it for like, oh, we want them to do this and then this and then this, but at every one of those steps, there's an opportunity for them to not do the thing you want. So they don't reply to your DMs, or they land on the call booking page and they don't book, or they do book and they don't show up, or they show up but they're making excuses they need to talk to their husband or their wife. Every additional step is a leakage point. So we just remove the leakage point. You don't have a sales call conversion problem. You've probably got a not enough people even see your offer in the first place problem. And so what we're doing is we're optimizing for how do we get people to see the offer and then be able to make a decision. Do I want it or do I don't? It's super binary. So there's one big takeaway from this. It's stop putting steps in the way of the thing you actually want people to do. Just let them see the offer and make a decision. The offer doc's just got to show if this is your frustration, here's the fix and here's the fee, and let people make their own mind up. So that's the overview of the funnel. What does the campaign look like? Hopefully it looks kind of familiar. Again, the week starts with a hand raiser. Hey, we're opening up some spots. By the way, my hands are getting worse in my pictures. Forgive me. And then it goes through the same 4 Ps we talked about before, but now in the context of join Black Belt and we'll get you prolific and dangerous. So there's a problem email about what happens if you don't get this right. If you're not prolific and dangerous, this is how it costs you. A proof story of a client who's crushing it because their content is prolific and dangerous. So you should join us. My philosophy, how I think about prolific and dangerous and why it really matters. And then the plan. Here's what we're going to do first, second, and third when we work together. And then finally, just like we did with the workshop, the doors are closing. There's real urgency because it shuts on a date, and there's real scarcity because there's only so many spots available. That's what drives the whole campaign. So there's a few emails in the campaign. I won't show you them all because ain't nobody got time for that. I do want to show you the announcement email because it frames it really well. And then let's jump into the results of the campaign. And then I'll show you the offer doc and how we position this case study group. The email I want you to see is called September Invitation. Starting in September, I'm going to work with a small group of coaches to help them get dangerous, prolific, and paid. Here's how we'll do it. Together, we'll create content and emails that are actually you and actually work. I like first, next, and then as a framework. So first, we'll get you dangerous. I'll help you find energizing things to talk about and say them the way you want to say them. You'll have a voice and your audience will start to respond. Next, we'll get you prolific. I've discovered a way to create content that's too fun to pass off to somebody else or to AI. You'll become consistent and laugh at yourself about how easy it is. This is true, I do this almost daily. Then we'll get you paid. We'll turn your newfound conviction into your first campaign that brings in a month worth of sales in a week. We kick off the first week in September. I'm choosing people this week. Would you like to join us? Click here to see how it works. P.S. I'm Taki and I personally typed every M- in this email. M-dashes have been my favorite punctuation since way before AI was a thing. And we can't let the robots take everything good in this world. Hashtag make M-dashes great again. So that's the announcement piece. That and the other emails, the announcement, the close, and the 4 Ps in the middle, all take people to the offer doc. All right, let's recap. We've talked through the plan, the workshop, the open close. Both the open close and the workshop point people at an offer doc. Let me show you how it works. So nobody shares this stuff. I want to give you the real, not the theory, not the principles. I want to show you what's actually working right now. So what we're going to do right now is have a look at the actual offer doc that people read that shows them how the case study group works. I want to call out some key pieces as we go. So this is the actual offer doc we ran in September. It starts with the theme of this case study group. We took on a few clients to help them get to prolific and dangerous and paid. So it starts with a little video walking through how it works and just inviting people to read and decide if it's for them or not. Zero pressure, just have a look. It'll be obviously for you or not and do what comes natural. So this case study group kicked off start of September, and so applications closed end of August. Gives us enough time to get people ready for the kickoff call and all of the shenanigans we've been up to here in September. Here's what we're doing in the first 6 weeks of this new case study group. Starting in September, working with a small group of coaches to get them prolific, dangerous, and paid. This should look familiar. This is the same as in the announcement email, so that when they get there, there's okay, I'm in the right place. What I was expecting is what I'm seeing. We kick off the first week in September. I'm choosing people this week. This page will show you how it works, who it's for, what we're going to do together. Have a read and apply with a link at the bottom of the page. Okay, so that frames up the case study group. Then the traditional black belt offer doc. And there's a few things going on here. Starts with promise. What's the outcome here? If you think about the offer diamond, your program is built around a promise. It's designed to get a certain group of people a very specific outcome. I'm going to whip through this quickly. If it's helpful, I might ask the team to drop the link to our offer doc in the description. If it's there, thank you team. If it's not, it's my fault, don't blame them. Goal is simple: to get you to $1 million a year in 4 days a week, leads every day, sales every week, clients who stay for years. That's what Black Belt's about. That's the outcome. Over the last 15 years, we've helped 650 people right now get to $1 million, which is kind of rad. Then build 7 and 8 figure lifestyle empires with our guidance in our system. 2025 could be your year. It's a small group, so I'm looking for the best fit here. So this is where we talk about who it's for and who it's not for. Clearly your program is great for a certain group of people and it's not as good for others. Let's just be upfront with that so you don't waste anybody's time. I love marketing when it's like effective, like these psychological tactics work, but I love it even better when the psychological tactics work and they're actually true. That's what we want. I can't help everybody. This is who it's for. So if you're just getting started, it's not for you. If you think you have to like manifest, motion beats manifestation, okay? If you've worked with 7 other coaches and they were the problem, I don't want to be number 8. If you want to build a huge team, hustle 24/7 and be stuck in meetings all day trying to manage everybody, I'm not your guy. Like there's people for that. But if you have actual skills, so this is the who it is for instead. You can see this on the screen. So that's the who it's for, who it's not for. The next piece is the plan. Like if we do this, how does it work? And so again, phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, just like we talked about before with first, next, and then. So the plan's really simple. 2 months of leads, clients, and money. Super tactical, focused on just putting enough money into people's bank account that they don't, the black belt's paid for and profitable in the first few weeks. Phase 2, one-on-one strategy and a custom growth plan. And then phase 3 is the scale piece. Then it goes through the offer, logistics like timing and price, the love it or leave it period. They take the risk out. Like I said, it's a small group. I'm looking for the right people. If you look like this, we kick off on this date, click here to apply, and away they go. PS, bonuses. As soon as you apply, as soon as you decide, you'll get access to 10K in 10 minutes, this sweet little series we made. 6 or 7 short videos. Each one's 10 minutes long, takes you 10 minutes to learn, and makes you 10 grand, and it pays for black belt really fast. So that's a walkthrough of the offer doc. Like I said, the big idea here is that we're not putting extra steps in the way of people making a decision about your program. Most people don't make enough sales, not because their conversion rate's not high, it's just because not enough people even see the offer. So with a doc, 10 people looking at the doc versus 10 people on a call, you'll probably sell more with a call. But I can get 10 or 20 or 50 or 100 times more people to read the doc than I can to get on a call. All right, let's land this plane. You've seen the one-page growth plan. We've talked through the workshop campaign, the open close, and the doc. Let's debrief the month. What are the numbers, overall wins and lessons? Let's chat. So you see what we did, what actually happened. Well, you kind of know we added an extra 100 grand a month, but let me show you the actual numbers. We spent 10K on ads last month. It was way more than we normally do. And to be honest, the extra spend we did on the workshop ads didn't make that much difference. All up between the workshop and the open close, we had 44 people pay to apply to be part of Black Belt. So they filled in the application, they put down a deposit, we review the applications. Within 48 hours, we let people know in or thanks but no thanks, and here's why, here's what to work on. So of the 44, we accepted 30, which is our case study cohort size. And we said no to 14 and refunded and thanked and wished them well. So that's 30 new black belters. We had 5 people join boardroom, a couple from outside and a few upgraded from black belt because they'd hit their $1 million. Congratulations guys, you know who you are. So all up, we had an extra 38 grand from the workshop, fun, and added an extra 100K in monthly recurring from the black belt and boardroomers. Kind of cool. So now you've seen all the pieces, let's zoom out and remind you of how it all came together. It came together just by following this one-page growth plan. We call it the system. It's the same plan that we run, the same game plan that all of our clients run every single month. And it just comes down to cadence. Your cash flow follows your calendar. So it comes down to what do we do daily? What do we do weekly? What do we do monthly? And you've seen the campaigns. If you want to get a copy of this so you can map out your own growth plan, there's a link in the description below. And if you want a detailed walkthrough and a bunch of examples of how other people are implementing the specific strategies, there's a training on that. It's called the $1 Million Plan, and that's linked in the description below. Maybe somewhere here on YouTube in one of those little title things. I don't know how it works. The $1 Million Plan is the exact how-to. It's the same system we use to get people to $1 million a year. It's worked for 650 people so far. Probably work for you too, so check it out. This has been a different style of video for me. Not so much teach, more show and tell. Let me know in the comments if you've enjoyed it. If it's useful, we'll do more. Thanks for watching. See you soon.